Live and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment is what I do. I feel like I haven't done a video in a while. I feel like I've been on lives for the better part of a week. I did Theo's live, then I did my live, then I did Chillmonger's live. I'm like, yo, let me slow down, take a breath, man. These live, not that I don't enjoy them. I love doing lives with folks. Um, Folks that are original and unique, that have a unique slant on the things that they do, that come innovative, that don't bite nobody's style, that don't bite nobody's words, that don't bite nobody's, you know what I'm saying? I'm a hip hop head, so I hate biters. You know what I mean? Don't be biting nobody's style. Get your own or get out the game. That's how I feel about it. And I will tell anybody that need to know. But anyway, um, needed to do a video, so I'm gonna do a video. Let me get my coffee. Y'all like that cup? Anyways, though, um, try to give y'all a fruitful Black History moment, something that you could take with you, and hopefully y'all learn something from this. I've learned a lot in the past week about people in general as a group and what they think versus what they know. A lot of times we'll go with what we think, and we won't give a damn about knowledge. But as KRS-One's name states, knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. And that's what I'm going to give y'all today in this Black History moment, because we're going to talk about none other than the Mansa Musa. What? Who's Mansa Musa? If you're saying who's Mansa Musa, then you really need to sit down and watch this video. If you know who Mansa Musa is, you'll have some comments to drop as well after this video is over, because a lot of people are going to be like, hey, D, did you know Mansa Musa? Did you know Mansa Musa also? This is by no means an all-encompassing about everything Mansa Musa, but a lot of it. And before we get into it, I'm going to need y'all to do what you always do for me. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page so that when new material comes out, you get it. If you're digging what a brother's shoving, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. All of this. Okay. Mansa Musa. Let's get to it. Mansa Musa. I like that picture of Mansa Musa, that particular picture, because it was one of the first pictures that I was introduced to of Mansa Musa, a similar picture. It was, I don't know, y'all probably gonna have a ooh moment when I say this, but I know there used to be these calendars and these poster series that were brought out by Budweiser called Kings of Africa. And that's how I was introduced or got a thirst to learn more about Mansa Musa from that Kings of Africa series. They would have like each month it would be a different king. They even had I believe they even had Nefertiti on there, and there was one about Shaka Zulu. There was one about Hannibal. There was one about Amenhotep. There was one about, like I said, Nefertiti, and then Mansa Musa. And they had billed Mansa Musa as the richest man in history, which I'm gonna just go ahead and say we know ain't true. If we're talking about the richest rulers ever, all time, we're talking about top three: Akbar the Great of the Mughal Empire, Shinzong Song of the Song Empire, and of course, the greatest, richest ruler of all time was Genghis Khan. So there you go. Y'all can be mad about it if y'all want to, but Mansa Musa wasn't no pushover either. One of the things I want to point out first is the man's name. Mansa Musa. To understand, Mansa ain't his first name. What is a Mansa then? Right here. A Manika and Mandinka word for ruler is sometimes translated as king, but correctly means king of kings or emperor. It is particularly known as a title that the rulers of Mali, such as Mansa Musa, and in this context, is sometimes translated as emperor. So, now you know, Mansa Musa, king of kings, Musa. Mansa Musa was the ruler of the kingdom of Mali from, I think, like 1312, and I know it was 25 years he reigned. So 1312, let's say 1337. Yeah, if my math is off, y'all let me know. But 1312 to 1337 should be 25 years. And during his reign, Mali, which is where his kingdom was based, was one of the richest kingdoms in Africa. At the time, it probably was one of the richest kingdoms. So I can see why you would say, oh, the richest man ever. Mansa Musa's empire spread across what is modern day Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, Niger and Nigeria, Chad, Mauritania, and Burkina Faso. All right. Now, to give you some idea of how wide an area that is, boom, let's go to a map of Africa. And here we are. Here's Mali, right in here, Mali. And he had rule over Mauritania, Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Niger and Nigeria. And where else did they say? Chad. Chad. Okay, so all of this was ruled by Mansa Musa. Now, looking at it on a map, it doesn't seem like a lot, but roughly it's about close to 3,000 miles. Because let's understand something. This entire area here is the Sahara Desert. Okay? How wide is the Sahara Desert? I'm so glad you asked. This is the area that the Sahara Desert covers, which is about right here, length of 4,800 kilometers, which is roughly about 3,000 miles across. You know what else is about 3,000 miles across? The United States of America. Yeah, even less than 3,000 miles, about 2,800 miles, if we're being nitpicky about it. So, Mansa Musa ruled an empire for 25 years, close to the side of the United States of America. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Timbuktu. Timbuktu? What is so important about Timbuktu and Mansa Musa? I thought we was talking about Mansa Musa, bruh. Get back on Mansa Musa. Sure thing. No problem. Mansa Musa developed cities like Timbuktu and Gao. What do we know about Timbuktu and Gao? You're going to learn about Timbuktu today for sure. He also brought architects from the Middle East and across Africa to design new buildings for this city. Mansa Musa turned the kingdom of Mali into a sophisticated center of learning. Learning. Now we talking about, oh, Mansa Musa is known for this money, 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 but we don't ever hardly talk about the university that he established in Timbuktu that's still there today. Why do we not talk about this educational center? I don't know, but let's move on. Mansa Musa came to power, like I said, in 1312. And the previous king disappeared at sea. and departed with a large fleet of ships and went out into the Atlantic Ocean and never returned. Weird, huh? Anyway, Mansa Musa inherited the kingdom and it was already, you know what I'm saying, banging, rich, nice. As you can see in this picture, he's holding a scepter, he's wearing a golden crown, and he has a big ass piece of gold in his hand. So he was balling already. Where did all of this money come from? Mali was one of the richest kingdoms in Africa because it had crap tons of gold deposits and elephant ivory. It's a major source of commerce. Not proud of it. You don't like to say it all the time, but one of the things that Mansa Musa also made money off of indentured servitude, slavery. Yeah. Okay. I like to tell people all the time, white people didn't come up with slavery. They just put the wheels on it. You know what I'm saying? They the ones that decided, let's do chattel slavery. Chattel slavery. I mean, slavery, we splitting hairs about if slavery's bad or not. Slavery's bad. Okay. But again, it wasn't his only means of generating wealth. So he's not known as a slave owner, slave master. Even though you're a slave, you're a slave. Everybody in power has slaves. Let's just look at it like that. Okay, but the most popular thing, or one of the most popular things Mansa Musa did, was went on a pilgrimage to Mecca. And that pilgrimage to Mecca went through where? Egypt. And he caused static when he was in Egypt because my man was rolling through Egypt, giving out gold on the whole pilgrimage. He was giving out gold. Folks didn't like that. He walked around with 300 pounds, 300 pounds, 300 pounds of gold. You do the math. I ain't no Smith Barney Merrill Lynch person, but you tell me the monetary value of 300 pounds of gold. And he's just walking around with this and tossing it and giving it to people. You see what I'm saying? So there you go. Mansa Musa met with the Sultan of Egypt and his caravan. He had a caravan. Yes, he had a caravan with his gold. Why would you not have a caravan and you packing 300 pounds of gold? Of course. Okay. And he gave away so much gold. This is how much gold he had to give away. He gave away so much gold that the overall value of gold in Egypt decreased. Damn. So gold was like pennies. He was giving it out like that. Stories of his wealth. He's so rich. Europeans was like, who's this? I don't know the words they use, but who's this African person who's out here giving out gold? He's got so much gold, he could just give it away. Okay. And this picture that you're looking at right now is probably one of the more popular pictures of Mansa Musa, which kind of gave you an idea of how stupendously wealthy this man was at the time. After his return from Mecca, he started building and creating things. He's known for creating, or well, not creating, but building mosques, and public universities. There's an Islamic university in Timbuktu that's been around since the 14th century. Mansa Musa brought architects and scholars from all over the world to build these fancy, beautiful buildings that we see. I mean, that's beautiful for a desert kingdom, ain't it? You know what I mean? I mean, look at that. We talking about the Sahara Desert, bruh. That's nice. That's really nice. That's the equivalent of like a Chicago skyline or a New York skyline or something like that. He was a very fluent, affluent, and wealthy man. Okay. A lot of times we talk about his wealth. A lot of times we talk about his pilgrimage, but we don't talk about his contributions to education and the betterment of people. He did a lot in 25 years. Okay. When he died, The empire was very well off financially at the time of his death, but it ended up crumbling shortly in the 1340s, and I think it was succeeded by, I want to say, the Songhai Empire, if I'm not mistaken, because you got all kinds, like I said, you got all kinds of empires in Africa. You had the Carthaginian Empire, you had the Punt Empire, the Mossi, Ghana, Kush, and of course, like I said, Songhai and Mali. And this was the world that Mansa Musa lived in. So when we talk about folks being well off financially, folks being well off education wise, folks understanding that Africa is not just a continent full, or it never was just a continent full of savages like a lot of European and American films and documentaries have depicted them as. If I want to make the United States look poor, I can go to ghettos all day and show you footage of ghettos and rundown hoods and trailer parks and things like that, and you would get the image that the United States was a destitute country. But we don't show you things like Mali, where there is all kinds of beautiful construction, where there are beautiful sprawling cities in Ghana, Accra, Mauritania, all across West Africa. There are still beautiful cities to this day. And to my point, just so y'all know, that's not Los Angeles, that's not New York, that's not Rome. That is Ghana, Accra, to be specific. Beautiful, sprawling city. Okay. There's no reason to believe that, when I was growing up, it was those care commercials all the time, and they showed those little emaciated kids and said, "This is Ethiopia, and they're starving in Ethiopia." Shit, it's people starving right here in Anchorage, Alaska. And if I showed you pictures of just the starving people in Anchorage, Alaska, you would think Anchorage, Alaska was a poor, destitute city. Hence my point. Propaganda's a bitch, y'all. Now, that is by no means a concise and inclusive history of Mansa Musa, because there was a line of them. He was the ninth in his line. So I don't want to say, okay, I've told you everything there is to tell about the Mali Empire. We'd have to go into the Mali Empire for me to tell you about the other eight muses. We just want to talk about Mansa, give y'all a clear understanding of who he was and what he did. He wasn't just rich, he was into education and faith as well. And he put his money into that. You're wondering, you're thinking, you're contemplating. Go ahead and drop something in the comments. We can talk about it. We can actually have a respectful, fun conversation about this. Go on and tell me the stuff that y'all know. That's it for now, but fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.